huge roadblock to joy in your Christian life is a lack of gratitude. And that's what Psalm 95 is telling us. You see in verses 8 to 11, the psalmist reminds the people of Meribah and Massah. These are places mentioned in Exodus 17, where the Israelites grumbled against Moses and grumbled against God. They'd been released from Egypt. They were on their way to the promised land. They had cause for great rejoicing and gratitude, but instead complained and moaned about their thirst. This is a common theme in Exodus if you're familiar with it. You'll even remember the Israelites complaining about the lack of diversity in the food that God was miraculously providing for them every day. Lack of gratitude, whinging, grumbling, the Bible calls it. And this psalm calls the people of God to learn from the mistakes of their predecessors. Instead of grumbling and whinging, as verses 8 to 11 tell us, it tells them to turn to God in praise and gratitude for who he is and what he has done. Let's have a look. It starts with like this, verse 1. Come, let us sing for joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation. This is what God has done. We are to sing to God because he is our salvation. For Israel, they were to remember their rescue from Egypt, from slavery in Egypt. But for us, we are to remember and rejoice in our rescue from slavery to sin in Jesus' death and resurrection. But thankfulness extends beyond what God has done to who God is. Look at verses 3 to 5. For the Lord is the great God. That's who he is. The great King above all gods. In his hand are the depths of the earth, and the mountain peaks belong to him. The sea is his, for he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. He's the creator of all, isn't he? The sustainer of all. He is big, strong, mighty. He's creative and brilliant. The one who made everything, the beautiful sunsets, the powerful waves. He has made it all. He is creative. And we should sing joyfully to such a God, the psalm tells us. We can sing for joy because of who God is and what he has done. And in fact, who God is and what he does are inextricably linked. Look at verses 6 and 7. It says this, come, let us bow down in worship. Let us kneel before the Lord, our Maker. That's who he is. For he is our God. That's who he is. And we are the people of his pasture, the flock under his care. That's what he does. Notice what he says. It goes from he is our Maker to he is our God to he is our shepherd who cares for us. Because he is our creator, he is also our shepherd, our father, the one who cares for us, our saviour and redeemer. And so the lesson from this psalm come in the positive commands, don't they? What's it say? Verse 1, come, let us sing for joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud, to sing, shout with joy. Let us come before God with thanksgiving. Extol him with music and song. Come, let us bow down in worship. Let us kneel before the Lord. Sing for joy. Shout. Come before him with thanksgiving, with joy, with passion and excitement. Kneel before him. Bow before him. They're the positive commands, and that's our instruction as we go forth today. But there's also one negative command in here. It tells us something that we should not do. And what's that? Well, verse 8, do not harden your hearts. Do not forget who God is and what he has done. Let your gratitude for who God is and what he has done be the source of your joy, because nothing else will compare. God bless.